Hey human, welcome back to Everyday Affirmations with me, Blayne Katona. Last week, we sat in the space between knowing and action. We are reading The Alchemist this month. It is a book that gets recommended as a standard for anyone on any kind of journey. It is that good. I have read it a few times now, and even though I know the story, reading it again and again, I get something else I need from the book. I always find myself talking about the gap between awareness and action. If you know me in person, you have heard me talk about this gap. It's because I genuinely believe that this gap is deeply human. You sit with the knowing of where you are and where you want to be, but action seems almost impossible. Then your mind starts to think and believe things that, if you are not careful, will keep you exactly there. It reminds me of Artax. If you grew up watching the Neverending Story, then you know the scene. Atreyu is crossing the swamp of sadness with his horse Artax, and the rule of the swamp is simple and merciless. If you let the sadness in, you sink. Atreyu makes it across because he keeps moving. He does not stop long enough for the swamp to take hold, but Artax stops. It isn't that the swamp is too strong or that something pulls him under. Artax stops because he stops believing it is worth it to keep going. And Atreyu is screaming at him, pleading with him. And Artax just slowly, quietly sinks. Gosh, thinking about it even now just gets to me. I thoroughly believe it is not a scene about a horse. It is a scene about what happens when the mind decides the story is over before the journey is finished. In The Alchemist, Santiago has his own version of that swamp. Robbed early, finding himself too broke to be broke, alone in a foreign marketplace in a country where he doesn't speak the language. The pull to go home is not just about comfort. It's about identity. Going home means he gets to stop being someone who tried and failed in public. And I understand that feeling deeply. The humiliation of everyone knowing you were out there trying to change your life. You cut things off, left, said some version of new year, new me, and then walked straight into a humbling you did not see coming. Going back means he gets to return to being the shepherd, the known version, the one with a name and a shape and a place in the world. I have started my healing journey more times than I can count, some by choice, others out of pure necessity. And there were stretches where I had found my rhythm, where I was fully in it, fully myself, the kind of energy where you walk into a room and people feel it. Watch out, world, here she comes. And then something from the old world shows up. An ex, a family wound, a friendship that needed more than I had. And I would have called it drama back then, but what it really was a point in life where I needed to make a choice. A vote for the person I want to be, if you will. And enough times, I chose the disruption over myself. Sometimes it pulled me off course just enough to find my way back. Other times, I abandoned myself so fast that if you were watching from the sidelines, you would have whiplash. And every time that happened, it was harder to go back on the journey. And the story I told myself about myself became so much worse. Through the gift of hindsight, I know these things now. Every single time I started back on my journey, I went back different. I had seen something, understood something, gotten a little farther than the time before. The returning was not failure. It was a part of the journey. Santiago needed the marketplace. He needed to sit in the mess of his first attempt and decide from that exact place, with nothing left to lose, his rock bottom, whether the dream was still worth following. It was, and so was mine, and so is yours. The identity story you are carrying was built from evidence that has been misread. You are not someone who cannot take action. We do not expect children to try once and always succeed. The same needs to be applied to you and the things you want to accomplish in your life. Artax, had he lifted just one hoof, would have made it across. This week, look at the story. Have you started the journey? Maybe more than once. How are your thoughts on going back again? Are you afraid of what it will cost? Are you weighing what you will gain versus what you will lose along this journey? The more that you can sit with these questions, the deeper awareness you will have for yourself and your patterns. So, let's take a big, deep breath in, quiet the mind, open self. Now, let's begin. I am learning to separate what I have done from who I am. I am learning to separate what I have done from who I am. I am more than the patterns I inherited. I am more than the patterns I inherited. I am allowed to be someone who is still becoming. I am allowed to be someone who is still becoming. I can carry compassion for every version of me that learned to wait. I can carry compassion for every version of me who learned to wait. I am building a new relationship with beginning. I am building a new relationship with beginning. I am learning to trust that starting again is its own form of strength. I am learning to trust that starting again is its own form of strength. Every time I return to my intention, I am reinforcing who I am becoming. Every time I return to my intention, I am reinforcing who I am becoming. I am allowed to rewrite the story I was handed. I am allowed to rewrite the story I was handed. am someone who begins, even imperfectly, even gradually. I am someone who begins, even imperfectly, even gradually. My history with procrastination is information. It is not my destination. My history with procrastination is information, not my destination. The story is not the whole truth. It is just the version that keeps getting repeated. Until next time, keep affirming, keep believing, and keep becoming the change you wish to see in the world.